Yo, Skid, what's up, everybody, man? Y'all know who I be. It's your man, who? CYGG. Now, today we're going to be talking about the lock archetype. Well, prototype. I keep saying archetype, I got a problem with it. But basically, like y'all can see that I almost got this prototype maxed out, and today we're going to be talking about how to actually use this prototype if you're going to be playing in the yard and where this prototype actually excels at. Now, if you actually look at the skills point, now basically the press is where it's at its best. Next would be the actual catching, because hey, you got to catch the interceptions. Then you have the speed coverage modifier and the coverage modifier, which I will be talking about at the end of the video. Now, one thing you want to make sure you do anytime you have this prototype is that you want to make sure you line up close on your opponent. Sometimes you want to give a little bit of slack. You don't want to get too much up on them, depending on what type of prototype they also have. Also, you want to pay attention and you want to make sure you're in man coverage. The reason why, because like I showed you before, the highest skill point of this prototype is the press. And in order to press, you have to be in man, because that's what triggers the press. Because if you're in zone, then it's going to make you zone chuck them, basically taking away the press. Now we're going to talk about how you press. You want to press A and down, or whatever direction you are in when you're in front of the person. As you guys can see, once you do that, once you execute that by holding A, or if you're on PlayStation, holding X and towards the direction where that person is. Now in this case, he tried to do a double move up and I held down. Now, you don't want to get too used to just holding down 24/7 and just coming down and falsely pressing, because then you're going to get beat just like that. As you guys seen, I got beat off the press. Now, the reason why that is because the way the press works, you at least want to see where your opponent is about to step first and then press the button in that direction. Now, look here. Watch this. He's going to basically go left, but I pressed down in X. So that triggered him to beat me off the release. Now, whenever you're doing this, you want to watch where they're stepping first and then hold A in that direction. Now, we're going to look here. Oh, he's going left. I pressed the A and I pressed to the left in my direction because I seen that's where he was going. Watch this. His foot is going to go to the left. Boom. Jumped in front of it. Jammed him up. Like, this is going to work every time you predict it. Now, I also went online to show you guys the footage online. As you guys can see, I jammed up the computer right there because, they say now you're going to see them try to send the computer on audible. He's going to tap his helmet or, reach his hand out, because he's basically like, yo, there's a user on him. Just run a quick slant or run deep. So now I knew he was running deep and I stepped in front of him, but then I started watching for the player underneath. So I let go of my press trying to jump a play. And that's something you don't want to do, especially when you're in man coverage, because, it can end badly. But this time he did it again. And I said, yo, that's not happening again. Boom, jammed him up. Had a little help over the middle, took him out the play. He came back again, tried to send the computer on the route, jammed him up. Happened again, took him out to play. Now this time after, he thought to himself, all right, we're gonna put a user on him. He put the user on me. I jammed him up, and then I made him overthrow it to get an interception. As you guys can see, we're gonna go back to that. It's me versus the user. He tried to do a quick slant in, and as you guys can see, I was on his hip because I judged where he was going. Now, once again, this is where it happens again. I'm on his hip. He tries to go in for a quick slant. I take him out to play, force an interception. Like, this is one thing you got to pay attention to. Like, I know you can't see it on side screen, but yes, boom. Took him out to play. As you can see, it looked like his player is running slow. And the reason why his player is running slow is because I have already predetermined the route that he was going to run, and I jumped in front of him. It was going to give me the edge on his on his player, because I already pressed in the direction that he was planning on going. I took that away from him. Now, as you guys can see, once I kept pressing everybody on that team, they started running behind the line of scrimmage to avoid the press. Now, they were like, yo, hey, don't get pressed by him. Run behind the line of scrimmage to get away from him. As you guys see, look, he runs behind the line of scrimmage to get away from me every time. I'm not gonna lie, that feels satisfying as a quarterback. Now on this play, since they kept doing it, I didn't press him. I baited him and I was like, all right, let me bait you then. I caught the interception, took it all the way back because he kept running behind the line of scrimmage, man. It got on my nerves, so I had to try to bait him a little bit. You know, I had to try to pretend like I wasn't there at times just to finally get him to throw the ball my way because the lock was locking down that side of the field. Now, is this prototype the best? Can this prototype just completely shut down every other prototype? No, because there are other prototypes that can beat this prototype, like the You Can't Guard. Now, the reason why the You Can't Guard can beat the lock prototype is because it has 4+ to the wide receiver release, and it has 5 to the route running. So I mean, the speed is not that great on that You Can't Guard, but that release and that route running means something. It means separation. And speaking of separation, you're gonna get that with the Rackzilla. Now the Rackzilla has a 5. It has a 5 to the release, which means you're not jamming it. You're not going to jam him at the line. Now, I tried this before with, I think it was a receiver that I think had it. And bruh, this is how it looked. I was like, all right, I can jam him up though. They hiked the ball, made me look silly. I'm talking about just made me look crazy. I'm not even gonna lie, it hurt my feelings. I was like, you got off the line, I'm talking about put the moves on me, and it was nothing I could do. Like, it's hard to jam prototypes who have that prototype, the Rackzilla. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be very difficult to, jam those types of prototypes. Now, you can jam other prototypes, like even the Fast Cat. Now, the Fast Cat may have a little bit of speed up on you, but you can jam it because it has no release. It has route running, but it doesn't even have release in its modifiers. The same thing for the Zeus prototype. It doesn't have, any type of it doesn't have, it doesn't have the release as that play a major factor in it. And one thing that you got to pay attention to when you're playing with the lock prototype is that you got to understand that you're going to be playing a lot of man coverage because of the press. So you're going to be taking away a lot of players and stuff like that, and you're going to be having to control your side of the field. But another thing that you have to take into consideration is that just because you have the lock prototype does not mean that your teammates on your team can cover the way you can cover. So sometimes you're going to have to play zone. You're going to have to learn how to be, very reactive when it comes to playing zone, instead of because, everybody is not your prototype. So you can't, that's one thing I had to learn, because a lot of people are running the Lamar Jackson. A lot of people are starting to run the Josh Allen and stuff like that. And the only other bad thing about this prototype is that it's fast, but it's not too fast. As you guys can see right there, like, just that little step on me got the defender, the offensive player was able to get away from me. The reason why that was because my player is 6'1", 210 pounds, and in order to get the most out of this prototype, you have to actually make the prototype by the modifiers. Now, if you look down below, you will see where it says 6'1", 190 pounds. Now, in order for you to get the most out of this prototype, you got to go and adjust your weight and your height to actually fit that. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my cornerback can probably be even faster, and he can move around a little bit more if I was to make him 190 pounds, because he's already 6'1". He's already 6'1". I just got to make him 190. That's the only thing that I have to do. But I will be doing more videos about this. I will be showing other prototypes and how to actually use the other prototypes if that's what you guys want. But this is me trying something different because everybody is running the Lamar Jackson. I have yet to see many other people running different prototypes. Oh, and the last thing before I close out this video, you have to get up on somebody and press them. If you try to press them past 5 yards, you're gonna get illegal contact every time. And that's another, I forgot to mention that penalty in the video. You're gonna get that penalty if you're waiting until somebody reaches the 10-yard line to try to press them and hold A, because that's illegal contact. But let me know what else video you guys want me to make, man. Until next time, it's your man Pooh, CYGG. and I'm out.